Hello, everybody. Welcome to Eden Fractal. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Hope you've had a wonderful summer break. We're back after 4 weeks, and we're embarking on Epoch 2. So I'm pleased to be here with Jacob and Rosmari and Vlad. So great to see you all. Welcome, Jacob, first time, great developer. Welcome, Vlad, great to see you. Co-founder, Autism Fractal, great to see you all. Thank you all. If anyone wants to share any thoughts, then feel free to share any thoughts right now. If you want to just jump in and share anything on your mind. Otherwise, I have a little presentation about Eden Fractal and some topics on the agenda that I can get into. So yeah, feel free to jump in at any point if you want to raise your hand, but otherwise I'll give a little presentation and then we'll jump into the conversation. So if anybody's not familiar with Eden Fractal is a community that creates innovative game shows and tools. You can learn more at edenfractal.com. We've been meeting for the past 2 years, over 2 years, 2.5 years or so. We have a vision that all communities, organizations should have the tools and methods to make the best possible decision making, that all decisions should be fair, fast, and fun, all collective decisions. And you can learn more about our vision and our mission on the website. Our mission is to implement fractal decision making processes throughout society via collaborative research, development, education, gamification, and community engagement. And we used to host weekly events. We're embarking on a new epoch where we're figuring out right now. There's a proposal to do bi-weekly events, and we can figure out the best path forward because we're making the changes. But for the past 2 years, we've hosted weekly events that anyone can join to help optimize decision making and network with innovators and builders and learn ways to empower your community and with joyful consensus games like the Respect game and Agendas. And we also produce videos of every event too. So you can check out edenfractal.com/videos to learn more and check out the YouTube channel, which I'll show you in a minute. And we build tools too. So Vlad's built a bunch of great tools as well as many other developers in the Fractal communities. I see Rosemary saying, good to see everybody. And yeah, everybody's welcome to join the events, use the tools and so forth. Reach out to any questions in the Telegram and explore the website to learn more about Eden Fractal. The events happen on Wednesdays at 16 UTC, and you can check that out on the Optimistics event calendar as well, lou.mosh/optimistics. And in the most recent videos and the most recent episodes, we've been talking about what to do for our next epoch, our strategic goals and what we're aiming to accomplish, and specifically like sort of forming KPIs and metrics that we're aiming to achieve in terms of implementing fractal decision-making processes and epoch planning. And you can see too our other videos from a little while ago when we were pitching about fractal decision-making processes, and we had our 2-year anniversary where we celebrated fractal communities with many leaders of fractal communities and so forth. So you can see a bunch of great videos here to see what we've been up to for the past 2 years now, and encourage you to do so. And check out the Eden Creators YouTube channel too, where you can see all the videos of Eden Fractal as well as Optimism Fractal, which is returning for its 4th season tomorrow, and a bunch of great shows too, where we've produced over the past couple of years talking about these fractal decision-making processes. So thanks everybody for joining and watching. Really appreciate it, and really looking forward to embarking on Epoch 2 with you. So put out a tweet here from the Eden Creators account. Basically, we're going to have kind of a planning session today. We have the Fractal events presented by Optimistics. As I mentioned, we'll have the first event of the season for Optimism Fractal tomorrow, and also Optimism Town Hall. Encourage you all to like and retweet to help spread the word and so forth. And yeah, basically, we can start with a recap of Epoch 2 proposal today, and then also provide updates on software development and have an open discussion on goals and plans for this epoch. So everybody's welcome to share their thoughts or what you've been working on. Help shape the future of fractal consensus processes and collective decision making. And you can learn more about that in the tweet, and a couple more resources that I'll share here too before I end the screen share. So you can register for all the events, including the Optimism Fractal event. I encourage you to register for Optimism Fractal, where we're pioneering a lot of these processes that where we're putting into practice a lot of these processes that we're pioneering at Eden Fractal. It's a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance in Superchain, which you can learn about more at optimismfractal.com. And you can meet a lot of people who are doing great stuff on optimism there and develop your on-chain career and business. And people are putting out some really nice messages too. So thanks, Rosmari and Abraham, putting out great messages talking about Optimism Fractal. And you can see I also put out kind of an agenda for our planning session for Optimism Fractal that we can discuss at tomorrow's event too. Everybody's welcome to join. For today at Eden Fractal, I put out a message over here, hoping everybody had a great summer break, and talking about how we'd love your input on shaping the path forward for Eden Fractal. And I'm suggesting to have a discussion about planning for our second epoch. So I can briefly recap the Epoch 2 proposal and share an overview for anybody who's not familiar with it or may have forgotten since it was proposed a month or two ago. And then also we could talk about updates on software development. So part of the Epoch 2 proposal was that we would start playing the respect games and deploy that on the base network at the start of Epoch 2, but the tools aren't quite fully ready yet. Maybe Vlad can provide some updates there because I know he's building. And so, but I can provide some updates because there's several people who are building really exciting tools that we can, that I think will be ready soon. And we can also discuss what to do going forward until that time is ready. And also just have an open discussion on our goals and plans as Eden Fractal. And for each community member, everybody's welcome to share updates about what they've been up to and anything that we can do to help as Eden Fractal as well. And I suppose while I'm here too, there's a Notion page here where you can find the Epoch 2 proposal. The main ideas were switching to a bi-weekly event schedule, starting to play respect games, bootstrapping or rebooting a consensus process with the respect game, and introducing discussion spaces based on demand and really going according to like the market need about how much we should meet. And a lot of it was also focused on supporting Optimism Fractal as well too, because that's one of our main focuses right now, and we want to support Optimism Fractal as much as possible. So you can explore here more in detail. There's a whole bunch of detail to this Epoch 2, where you can learn more. But overall, the first hour of Eden Fractal, the first Epoch, was really exciting. And so really thankful for everybody who participated and really excited for our next Epoch. And you can see more about the Epoch 2 discussions in the most recent videos from the last episodes too. So that's it basically for my presentation. Welcome, Nuno. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so kind of open discussion now. I don't know if I know it's Jacob's first time joining, so thanks so much, Jake, for joining. And feel free if you'd like to introduce yourself to the community. Jacob's a really talented developer building in Optimism and building on EVM. He's building some really helpful tools that I've been thinking of integrating for a long time at Eden Fractal and at Optimism Fractal. I think will be really helpful for many communities. Vlad, I'm curious to hear your updates and curious to hear what's on your mind. And Nuno's also a great pioneer in governance and improving decision making too. So appreciate you all joining. If anyone wants, I can go into more details about any of that as far as Epoch 2 and software development. I also had an idea too, potentially switching Eden back to a monthly event cadence based on tooling and demand too. So that's something that we could potentially discuss. But first, just curious to hear from everybody and see what you're all up to. So I'll stop my screen share. Good to see you, Jake, and good to see you, Nuno. And yeah, feel free. The floor is open if anybody wants to share thoughts or give updates or ask questions or anything.
Yeah, happy to be here again. Hi, Dan. Long time no see. and yeah, happy to know that you're continuing the project and that you plan to continue to play the respect game and develop the software. And I really look forward to it. We really need the software out to make it more easy to practice.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it's great to see you, Nuno, as always, and appreciate the words of support and appreciate your interest too. I know you're doing really exciting stuff with Chili Bangs and several other communities too. So we are working on getting the software as ready as possible. I see Vlad turned his video on. He's working on some software as well as Tadas and Abraham. I think that we'll have some really great apps that make it really easy to play the respect game within the next month or two. So that's something I'm looking forward to very much, and I agree with you there.
And yeah, so application from my side, I think it will be ready, I would say 3-4 weeks, and it should be in production. Yeah, and that's really good, Nuno, that you mentioned that this is something that is needed. That's partly why I'm here, because currently we are like in the design phase of the application. I just want to know what gets the feedback, what is actually needed, what features. So if do you have a community that you would like to use this process in, or how are you interested in it?
I don't know. I just see a lot of value in the respect game, and I know I introduced you to the Chile Banks community, and I'm well connected here in Portugal. Lisbon has become a hub for Web3 somehow, and but there is such a lack of governance tools in general. It's just something which is lacking, and I see it being used in a larger community, but I also see it being used in a small startup as well. So, for example, I'm working on a NFT game. We are 7 people. We are not full time. So sometimes someone is present, other times they're not present. Sometimes they do their job, other times they don't do their job. And I think the respect game is the easiest way with less conflict. We keep track of each other, what each other is doing. And I even came to the point of just doing it on paper, you know, just taking notes on paper. But yeah, having an app and actually having some tokens would make it a lot more attractive to these Web3 people.
Yeah. So what is the main benefit that you see? You think it's the fact that you can see each week what have been the contributions, or what is like, what's the value that you see that this process adds? That's the main thing.
Okay, so let me just say that I haven't played it enough to give you like proper feedback, but I have done a little bit. And from my experience, it's a very non-confrontational way. If it makes sense, it's a way you're not attacking someone. You're not saying you didn't do this, but you can also keep track of if who is making more efforts, who is giving more to the community, without making it a confrontation. That's the in a non-hierarchical hierarchical way. So what I mean by this is when I talk about the respect game and I introduce it to people find it funny. They just play it like 1 round or 2 rounds for fun, you know. Oh, let's do it, and then after a while, when things do not work well with the project, we look at each other and we say, maybe we should play the respect game. Maybe we should play it a little bit more to see what's happening.
And in regards to the token, do you view it as a just to track how much has the member contributed, or do you see it as a way to reward as well? So if the token would be valuable, do you see value in that?
Again, unfortunately, don't have enough experience in my hands to give you good feedback, but for me, it's a reputation mechanism. We talk about reputation a lot in Web3 as a way to track identity without using centralized digital identity mechanisms, right? And so it's I can see rewards being given, but I don't see it having value in itself, like being you're not able to transfer it, to put it on the market, to give it away. And if you can somehow, you shouldn't. We should make it in a way that like make a soul-bound token and these kind of ideas.
Well, the way that I'm currently thinking that there is 2 types of respect. So one type of respect is non-transferable. It is the one that shows, like, tracks the reputation, but also I see value in if there is another liquid respect token, which is a mechanism to reward those contributors. For example, if let's say you have a community, there are some members who just their contribution is that they retweet the tweets or like the tweets that the community's main channel puts out. And even though this is valuable for the community, like social engagement, those people, they are not directly getting rewarded. So with this liquid respect, you could really reward additionally all the contributors that you have in the community. There is even option like right now I'm part of Upscale Fractal, and the way that we are doing right now is that the only way that we distribute funds is through this weekly meeting. So I don't get paid. There's no fixed salary. It's only purely through the weekly rewards. This is a bit maybe extreme, and we are just experimenting to see how it works. But definitely I see value if it's just like additional bonus system. So you have in your organization, you have a fixed pay, but in addition, you get a bonus based on how others rank you. Yeah.
I can definitely see all that happening, like in many different ways. Sure.
Vlad,
Oh.
that's actually yeah, I'm right with you on that thinking. I'm a part of ATX DAO here in Austin, Texas, and we've implemented a very similar system, if not identical, where you show up at weekly meetings or monthly meetings or in-person events, you get reputation tokens. And you get two types of reputation tokens, the one being soulbound, and then the other token being semi-transferable. We call it redeemable. So you can't, the redeemable token, you can't freely trade it on markets, but you can send it to designated addresses, and in return, they'll say that they will give you something. For instance, with ATX DAO, we're big on merch, we're big on conference tickets. So this has yet to be implemented, but this is kind of the idea and philosophy behind it. Is you can trade in those redeemable tokens for a discount on the conference tickets or a discount on merchandise, right? So it's not a direct monetary asset, we'll call it, but it does give you a reward. And then you also have the lifetime tokens, which of course your long-standing reputation with the DAO itself. So just sharing how we do it here at ATX DAO, and it's very similar to how you're thinking.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, by the way, what's your what's the consensus mechanism? How do you reach the, like, how do you distribute the reputation? What's
Yeah. Currently, right now, it's me connecting my ledger to my computer and just going to Etherscan. It's very not autonomous at the moment. It's basically we have a weekly Discord meeting, and people will share their address, and I'll be like, okay, after this meeting, I'm going to go on Etherscan, distribute the tokens to people who provided their addresses, and that's it.
who decides? You decide how much this reputation gets distributed, or what's the system?
We do have a document that tries its best to lay all that out. But still, for the moment, yeah, it is, I guess, up to me. But I am trying to stick to that document as much as possible.
Okay. Cool. Interesting to hear that you're also experimenting.
Yeah, I'm glad that you two had the chance to meet here. And I think that there's lots of collaborations you guys can do with the open source tools you're building, as well as potentially using each other's tools for different purposes. So that's really cool and great discussions all around. So thanks so much, Nuno and Jake and Vlad, for sharing all your thoughts. If you wanted to, as I said before, Jake, if you want to provide a little more of a general overview or introduction to yourself, then feel free for the audience. Also, haven't heard from Rosmari yet, but I know she was having some internet issues. I see you unmuted, Jake. Is there anything you wanted to add there?
I'll just do that intro you're talking about.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll make it quick. So yeah, I'm Jake, Jacob Homanix. I'm a Web3 developer, enthusiast, advocate, whatever you want to call it. Just building public goods and decentralized applications and smart contracts, just to hopefully try and make the world a better place. And so I'm part of several communities, including this one. I've partaken in several optimism fractals at this point. I'm a part of ATX DAO. I've done a grant for the Optimism Collective to build a reputation and roles system. I've worked with several other organizations and companies to build out and deploy smart contracts and build associated front ends with them as well. So that's just a quick overview of me. I guess I'll stop there.
Okay, well, sounds good. Thanks for the intro. We had the pleasure of meeting at ETH Denver back earlier the year, and then really it's super cool meeting you because I've been following your work for a long time, and then also really appreciate you participating and supporting and joining Optimism Fractal as well. It's been super cool speaking with you there. So looking forward to collaborating with you. And I also have some while everybody was talking, I pulled up some windows so I can share my screen at some point to show a little bit about some of the software development that's been going on for the Respect game, as well as the roles and reputation system we've been building too, and some of the other things that we discussed too. So I can share that now or anytime really. I don't know if Jake, there's anything else you wanted to add, or Rosmari, if you wanted to say hello, we haven't heard from you yet in this epoch. So hope that you're doing good and you have your internet issues resolved. Would be great to hear from you as always. Up, nice you're unmuted.
I'm here. I'm listening, enjoying, and doing yoga at the same time. Thank you. Thanks for the discussion. Very nice. I don't know that much about the ATX DAO, so maybe just a quick overview of that would be also nice.
Sure. So ATX DAO, it started as a local meetup group here in Austin, Texas. That's our website. And it kind of was a way for the community to grab a beer and talk about crypto in the evenings after work. And then it kind of started gaining a lot of traction. And the concept of DAOs were gaining traction as well. So this was around 2021, 2022-ish. And we decided to make a actual DAO out of it. We've held events, we've talked to politicians, we've tried to push legislation here in Austin, Texas to make what is it exactly? The legislation was to, I guess, recognize DAOs as a formal entity within the US government. And we got as far as the Senate, we just simply ran out of time. And then we also, another big thing, yeah, we're really good at throwing parties or events, we'll say. And then the other thing, I guess, is just, we partake in the usual governance mechanisms. We have snapshot votes for pretty much everything we do. We do grants. So even though I led the grant for the Optimism Collective, I did it under the ATX DAO umbrella. So we do grants, we do software development, we do parties, events, etc. And so you think of us as a city DAO. We're for all of Austin, Texas. So any Web3 person who wants to get involved in their city should be a part of a city DAO. And there's actually a lot more popping up around the world that ATX DAO is not directly creating, but helping to facilitate the growth of. There's some in, what's it called? Portland, Brussels, all over. And there's a website for it too, if there's interest in sharing that. So yeah, that's kind of ATX DAO. You can also take a look at the website here to get more information.
And do you see the fractal democracy as something that could be as a governance mechanism for this DAO? Or what's your current governance mechanism? And yeah.
Yeah. Potentially, I think actually very much, maybe much, very much so. So we started out as one NFT equals one vote, and usually it's one member has one NFT. And across all snapshot proposals, anyone with the NFT could vote. But I guess that might not particularly be like, they might not be knowledgeable on the subject well enough. So their vote may not be properly allocated. So maybe, and so what we've done is we've kind of consolidated groups. Like we don't have an engineering team, but we have an engineering guild, we can say. Just where anybody can say that they're a part of the engineering guild and help out in efforts there. So maybe that's where the fractal stuff comes in. And you have a group of 3 or 4 engineers, and they implement the fractal idea, and that helps them make decisions on the small scale, and it boils up to the rest of the DAO itself. From my understanding, that's something I definitely need to think about more and bring up with members of the DAO for sure. Never actually really.
Does your DAO have a treasury currently?
Yes.
And how this treasury is controlled by whom?
A multi-sig, just a safe one. Who it is? So it's a selected. It had to go through a snapshot proposal, but it's a number of selected, I think like 8 people or so. And people agreed through the snapshot proposal, and we made the changes. So those 8 people, I am one of them, and then yeah.
It's just one of the. So as I understand, it's fixed. So you voted once, and now in order to change this multi-sig, you would have to. I guess there is threshold of what 70% or something. So like 6 out of 8 have to vote in order to change this multi-sig, right?
Technically.
Yeah.
In terms of the multi-sig smart contract, yes. But when it comes to like actually making changes, like if we're on snapshot and we say we want to move $100,000 from the treasury, the vote could fail. The proposal would not pass, and the people on the multi-sig could, in theory, still say, well, we don't agree with that. We are going to go through with the transaction anyway. So yes, that is possible, and that is absolutely a flaw.
So I was going to say, Vlad, maybe it's best if we zoom out a little bit, because this is really interesting about how ATX DAO works. And I see Vlad is like, he's very interested in learning all the details about how, like, say ATX DAO or potential or other community organizations could benefit from the fractal governance process. And I know Vlad has worked a lot on having like a decentralized MSig according to respect with fractal democracy. And I can also share a little bit about that too, but also want to just jump into, because we have 25 minutes left and there's a couple things I want to share too. And I want to also see if we want to discuss other topics on Nuno's mind or anything like that too. But feel free, Vlad, I didn't mean to cut you off. So feel free if you want to continue that thought. And then when you're ready, then everybody can check out ATX DAO, by the way, at atxdao.com. I believe that's the website. Yeah, atxdao.com and learn more. And then maybe we can save like, very specific details for another conversation later and keep it a bit more high level here. But Vlad, feel free to continue your thought.
Yeah, I just quickly mentioned that this is the one of the things that this fractal process solves. It enables you to like dynamically get the most trusted members into the multi-sig. So right now, if you have 8 people, they are fixed. So if something should happen to, let's say, 4 of 8 that you're unable to sign, your treasury is lost. So you cannot access it anymore. So, and what fractal democracy offers is this neat process how you can, even if something happens with those people who are currently in the multi-sig, based on the respect, people can be assigned into the multi-sig. Yeah, just throwing it out there.
Okay, so I forgot to add this part actually, and Dan, I'll be quick. I'll conservative on time. We actually, with our reputation implementation, we just recently did it. We also integrated the roles. So the whole project is called Reputation and Roles. The reputation side is an ERC 1155 token. The roles side integrates the HATS protocol, which is another set of 1155s. But if you own that 1155, you get specific authorities and responsibilities. And so our goal here, the whole grand scheme of things, you have your reputation tokens. You get those through attending events, making GitHub PRs, posting on Twitter, etc. And then once you get enough of those tokens, you can claim certain hats. And then by claiming those certain hats and owning those NFTs, you get certain authorities and responsibilities. It is possible. It's not currently set up, but it is possible and on our timeline to have it where if you are wearing a certain hat, if you get like 10,000 reputation tokens, you are able to claim the hat and become a part of the multi-sig.
Mm-hmm.
That part is possible. Not done in a fractal way, but it is possible through that mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. That's how I'm thinking about it as well.
Super cool. Thanks, Jake and Vlad, for the fascinating discussion. While you're talking to, I pulled up. This is a project that I have that I've been curating for exploring integrations with roles and reputation systems. I see a really nice natural synergy between what Jacob is doing and the fractal system, where basically reputation can serve as the respect token, although it also can serve for others as well. So I have a bunch of like tasks here, and one of the tasks I have is just research, where I've been just keeping track of research of what things he's been doing here. So I have a whole bunch of links where Jacob gave more, like he gave video overviews. He has a bunch of overviews and a lot of documentation about what he's been building for roles and reputations that people can check it out. It's all open source too. He shared an overview at Optimism Fractal a couple months ago. And then he also shared a 15-minute overview at Optimism Demo Day too, Optimism Superchain Demo Day, plus a lot of like quick demonstrations for any developers who are interested in building this. I was also reminded when you're talking about transferable tokens and redeemable tokens too. So the roles and reputations is both smart contract infrastructure for linking up and working with HATS protocol, which, as Jacob described, allows people to give hats, which allow people to get different roles. Hats are NFTs, basically, like you do different things, have different kinds of powers within a community and so forth. And then depending on how much they respect you earn, you could have access to different things like participation in a Telegram or Discord, or perhaps like on a council or something like that. So there's this, and there's also a front end that he developed as well as open source that can link up with the HATS protocol, as well as claim and use lifetime tokens, redeemable tokens, transferable tokens. And yeah, so I encourage people who are interested in these kinds of reputational developments to explore this page. I can share a link here. There's a huge amount of resources. And then I see immense benefit for in integration with fractals too. I previously pulled up the What is Fractal Democracy article from the fractally.com website that introduced this concept of fractal democracy. There's also the More Equal Animals book too, but I think that what Vlad is working on with the app he's building, and generally the respect game, it allows a really fair and meritocratic and democratic and fast and fair and fun way, as Nuno was saying too, to distribute decision-making power too. So that's a way when these two things are combined, you can have fun events where people are sharing what they're doing and helping the community and naturally incentivized to do so. And then at the same time, also be distributing voting power that could be used with something like roles and reputations to make a really optimized like organization and coordination and so forth. There's this book, More Equal Animals, A Subtle Art of True Democracy by Daniel Larimer, where this concept of fractal democracy came from. He founded Fractally too. So wanted to put that out there and kind of connect those. And then I'll share a link in the Eden Fractal Telegram group with more details about the roles and reputations and stuff like that. And then if you want to also have some other slides, I can give like a quick overview of some of the other things that I was thinking of bringing up too. Also, I mentioned HATS protocol. If people haven't checked it out yet, HATS protocol.xyz is a great open source protocol and tool to allow people to dedicate different roles. I've been in contact with the founders of HATS for a while, so planning to integrate with Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal, I think it'll be really helpful as well. Yeah, I don't know, it's still kind of open discussion. We have about 15 minutes left or so. And curious, Rosmari, welcome back. Hope you've been enjoying yoga. And I hope that that answered your question. You got kicked off again. If you wanted to share any of your thoughts there, then feel free. Hopefully that introduction to ATX DAO was helpful for you and you heard that. That was really interesting. And then, yeah, if Nuno, Jake, or Vlad, you want to share anything else, you can. Or I have my screen up, so I could just take a couple minutes to just share these couple, just give a little overview of some of these things that I had pulled up as well, because I had some other thoughts that I could jump into if nobody wants to jump in right now. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do that real quick, and then but feel free to jump in at any point or raise your hand.
Roll that beautiful footage.
Roll that beautiful footage. Is that Will here? Thanks, Rosmari. For anyone who's not in on the joke, Will T from Kingfisher's Media likes to say that as we start. So thanks, Rosmari. I think Will's starting a meme over here. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to do at this event is just give a little update. I made a lot of updates to the Optimistics website, and this is optimistics.io, which is the team that founded Optimism Fractal. And so there's some updates here, things we're doing on the homepage, but specifically the blog. It's now organized better, and so now you can see articles about the Respect game, the history of fractal communities, different games and events like Optimism Town Hall and Agendas, the Respect token, the roots of Optimism Fractal and how it started, and then a whole bunch more about optimism and stuff that we've written over the past year or so. And so I just want to just give a quick overview for anybody who's like just tuning in somehow and doesn't know what the Respect game. There's this article, optimistics.io/respect game, which provides an overview. Everybody here knows what it is well, but there's so I won't go into it, but there's videos and stuff where you can learn more about exactly how it works. And there's also a history of fractal communities too, article that provides an overview of how we've been working on these fractal democracy processes and these fun consensus games like the Respect game with many builders for the past few years. So I took some time to write out more about this concept of fractal democracy and the More Equal Animals and how Eden started. Eden started before Eden Fractal, even about 3 years ago, and then the concept of fractally and how Eden Fractal started and how then that led to Optimism Fractal. And there's several other communities who are pioneering these processes too. So you can learn more in that article about the roots and where this all come from. And then also I've been working a little bit on updating the Fractal app article too. So Vlad's been building Fractal apps for a while. I made some nice little new art here. And then there's recent updates with some updates from Tadas, who's building something called frapps, which also has a way to decentralize the ownership and execution of a contract. And he's also been building new respect token standards and all sorts of stuff like infrastructure basically that anybody can use to build fractal applications. So you can find this at optimistics.io/tools or /fractal app. and Abraham Becker, who we met at Optimism Fractal back at the beginning, and he's been contributing great stuff. He has been working on a respect game app too, which is really exciting too. So we have several exciting tools and developments underway that people can check out. You can see like some of the things on this on-chain builders buildathon that we have been working on recently, and check out the repositories to learn more. And we also have some projects in Notion too, where you can learn more as well. But yeah, those are some of the things I wanted to share. And one other thing I wanted to share too was just the concept of like redeemable tokens. We discussed that quite a bit actually back in Eden Fractal's 61st meeting, which was like maybe a year ago or so. We had a whole concept, and Tadas wrote a really interesting article called non-fungibility out of fungibility. So we went into this a lot. It's a long video, but at some point, I think I have a shorter version out there, which I think could be a really powerful concept to this idea of like redeemable tokens that allow you to do things. With the idea of like using a garden metaphor where you could like garden, like you could plant a respect or something like that, and then redeem it for things. So there's some interesting ideas there that we could discuss if we want. But yeah, those are just some of the things I wanted to show, some updates about some of the articles and some of the development and so forth. And we have about 15 minutes left or so. So still just open discussion, basically. I don't know if Vlad or Jake, you want to follow up on anything that you were discussing there, or anything, or any things I shared sparked any interest there, or Nuno. I know you're speaking a little bit about your interest in starting to use the respect game. So I don't know if you have any thoughts that have been inspired, or anything else you wanted to get out of this meeting, or anything else you want to share, then feel free. Rosmari as well, on stage is always welcome if you like. Also, welcome Patrick as well. Patrick has been building with fractal communities for a very long time too, for the past few years. So appreciate you joining, and feel free to say hello if you'd like. Welcome. And yeah, floor is open basically for anybody who'd like to jump in and share some thoughts.
You just said something about planting respect.
Yeah.
What, can you maybe provide more details there?
Sure. Thanks for asking. So yeah, the screen I was just sharing, there's this concept, we called it, this was an Eden Fractal 61st episode, that we called Growing Communities. And we asked, what are the best ways to nourish communities? And we explored several ways to like both fund fractals and help community members. And we had a novel concept to start a new kind of garden. So this is an idea. It still needs like some more thought, because we haven't been able to fully devote to it. But basically, I started thinking of this a lot when I was looking at Jacob Hominek's work, when he talked about the potential to have a redeemable token, and he mentioned that before too. That's kind of what we were discussing back on that 61st episode, and we just didn't have the word for it, and we didn't have the tools for it. But now with the open source roles and reputation system and the Respect 1155 token standard that Tadas is building, I think that kind of thing might be a lot easier to do. And Jacob's already doing that with ATX DAO in a way too, where you can redeem a token for something like being able to join an event or get merchandise or something that like the community values basically. And so yeah, we have some notes here. I have some timestamps where I had where I curated discussions, and then whoops, I just clicked on something back send. There's also an article here with more details. But then yeah, Tadas, it was inspired by this article that Tadas wrote, I think, called Fungibility Out of Non-Fungibility, and also another article that he wrote too. So I'd have to like kind of refresh myself to remember exactly like the best way to explain it. But this has like an overview, and basically the idea is that what if you could earn respect, and then people could kind of like both have like community goods or services, but also their own individual goods and services, and they could offer those goods and services to people who've earned respect. And that's something I really like to do. Like, for example, one of the things that I've been thinking of doing, and talking a bit with Rosmari, is the fractal process, the respect game process. It allows like really powerful video creation, collaborative video creation process. And we're like kind of scratching the surface here. We try to make really nice videos that everybody can watch and learn, and we do timestamps, but really there could be like 20 clips basically produced from each episode, because you could produce each person's respect game presentation, and any like exciting talks or like exciting things that happened and so forth. And we just haven't had like the manpower basically to produce this. One of the things I'm working on is a mission proposal on optimism to raise funding for like increasing our video production capacity basically. And one of the things I'd like to do is like offer a service where I could say, okay, well, anybody who joins an Optimism Fractal event or Eden Fractal event or whatever can go ahead and pay, Eden Creators, which is the like organization / team that produces the videos, and then we could cut a video for you using like our talents as video producers and stuff like that. We could cut a video for you, sharing what you shared during your Respect game presentation. And then you have a 4-minute video where you can promote what you're doing and share that with the group. We can also offer like promotional services like tweets and stuff like that to help spread the word and help give builders a platform who might not be, into promoting their own work and making tweets and cutting videos and stuff like that. But we can offer all these services like making a nice thumbnail, making a little summary, making a tweet and stuff like that. And there needs to be like a business built around that because I don't have resources to do that infinitely. So I'm thinking, what if I charged, I don't know, like $20, $50, $100, whatever it may be to offer these services and offer different services. But what if like people could also redeem their respect to gain that service too? So either people could pay like dollars or some other currency, or they could say, hey, I don't have money to pay for that right now, but I've earned 500 respect by joining these meetings. So maybe you could have it where you could like redeem your respect for that kind of service. And everybody who's in that community, like say if I don't know, Vlad wants to offer consulting services as a developer, or Jacob wants to do something similar, then they could say, hey, you could book an hour time from me. And normally, I'm busy, so that might cost $50 or whatever. Just throwing out random numbers. But if you're in the community, if you've earned this amount of respect, then hey, I'll just let you redeem it basically for that. So it can kind of create like a local economy in some way. And that's what Tadas was trying to get across here in this fungibility and out of non-fungible tokens. So and that's also what we discussed in a lot more detail too about a year ago at this edenfractal.com/61 growing communities video. So that's basically the idea. Did that make sense, Rosmari? And did that answer your question?
Made sense to me.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Well, yeah, curious to hear everybody's thoughts about that. I think that kind of thing might be more possible than ever now with the new software being developed. And happy to have the opportunity to share thoughts about it. We still have a bit of time left. We try to be pretty punctual here. We used to do long Eden Fractal meetings back in the first Epoch. Some of them went like 3 hours, but now we try to keep it punctual to about an hour. So we can wrap it up basically whenever, but happy to hear any thoughts too. If I see NCO Patrick sharing, bravo. Thanks very much, Patrick. Appreciate it. Feel free to say hello if you want. And would be happy to hear from you and happy to hear your updates. You're doing really exciting stuff. Vlad mentioned Upscale community and has been doing some exciting stuff with fractals. Nuno, if you want to share more, Rosemary, if you want to share more, Jake, Vlad, floor's open basically if anyone wants to share some last thoughts or anything else on their mind.
Yeah, hello everyone. Just happy to rejoin a bit and see how you are evolving here. Very happy to see. Straight to the point. That's very important. Straightforward, and you are doing great. There are a lot of similar things with what we are doing into Upscale DAO Fractal. We can say it's a Fractal since July 6th, and we are in a 13-week discovery Fractal. We are going out of this upvote process. We are totally into Eden Onios 2.0 and doing things with Vlad. Thank you, Vlad. Going on with more openness with EVM-based chain. And yeah, just want to tell here that I received a step-by-step milestones by Vlad to start proof of actions, a project named proof of action. It's to make sure that the people are doing the work. And to make sure that they are doing the work, we have to check some actions. And those actions can be on-chain, off-chain, and we want to go with EVM-based chain. And I will do that with Vlad and Lenar beside the other project that they have with the Fractal text-based app. So all is connected. All what we are doing also in meetings, Fractal meetings, every week we meet 1 hour, about 1 hour maximum, or 40 minutes sometimes, on the Monday at 16 UTC with the Upscale community. And at the end of the ranking, 6 to 1, the normal process, we use the Matthias Schoenbeck Fractal app. And then the voting is submitted, the ranking is submitted on chain, all provable. And there is an MSIG, like into Eden Fractal, and the MSIG is updated dynamically with the best contributor. And let's say if you are 6 weeks in a row doing great contribution, you could end up into the council. So we have a council, and I would say very fractal, what we love. And I see a lot of collaboration ongoing with what we were doing into Eden Fractal, and now with EVM chains. So very happy to engage again with you. There will be some video coming on our side for Upscale Council, some videos. And that will be a good synergy with your video, Dan. That will be nice. And that will make 1 + 1 = 3 at the end. If everyone is doing his marketing and then maybe paying other to do something. So for example, in Upscale, when I receive a respect, that's the token. We have the token liquid and the non-transferable token to be into the council. So when I receive the liquid, I can decide to give a part of my respect to others that were participating with me. That's what I do. And like this, we do collaboration and we respect the other people that are also putting their time. For example, CIC creating logos or someone doing a nice article. So I think there is a lot of collaboration with what you are doing. Just want to tell that. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to collaborating with you and collaborating with Vlad and everyone who you're collaborating with. For anybody who doesn't know, we've been collaborating for a long time back at the beginning of Eden Fractal, and it's nice to kind of reunite. And I appreciate your interest in building optimism too. So looking for the next steps and checking out the videos and follow the progress. The time has come for the sake of unity. Sounds good. Yeah, I think we'll do a lot of amazing things. Fractal communities, I think, are finally ready after years of development to really enter our next stage of growth in this new epoch of Eden Fractal and Upscale, Optimism Fractal, and many other communities implementing these fractal decision-making processes as well. We are only like a minute or two from the top of the hour, so I'm just going to share my screen a bit and just sign us off. If we want, we can go a little bit over 2, and he has to run at the top of the hour, then feel free to drop out. Or if you want to say any last words before we have to go, then feel free to jump in. But maybe I'll just go a couple minutes past the hour and just wrap it up. And then anybody can feel free to jump in as well. But yeah, I just want to once again thank everybody for joining the Eden Fractal event. It's been super cool seeing you. This is the start of Epoch 2 and really exciting for our next steps. We could still maybe in our future event, we're planning to do these every other week. I had brought up the idea about maybe even monthly too, because we really want to focus on Optimism Fractal because we see a lot of opportunity there. But basically, we'll just follow up in the Telegram chat for updates going on with Eden Fractal. But we'll be back soon, probably in 2 weeks, and we'll provide updates there. And then the summer break is over for Optimism Fractal as well. So we're meeting every Thursday at 17 UTC for Optimism Fractal. Everybody's welcome to join, collaborate with builders, build reputation, the Optimism Collective, and so forth. You can learn more at optimismfractal.com. And we also have the Optimism Town Hall right after 2 on Thursday, 18 UTC, where everybody's welcome to propose topics. I think we'll discuss more of these topics here too. And he's welcome to propose a topic if there's something you want to discuss at the town hall. And we go with respect, so you can learn more there. You can register for all our events that I host at lou.ma/optimistics, where you can find the Eden Fractal, Optimism Fractal, and Optimism Town Hall, and learn more at optimismfractal.com and edenfractal.com too. And then, yeah, encourage everybody to join. I really appreciate everybody being here too and sharing all the great work. I'm really excited for the things we'll do together. So that's it for me for this presentation. If anybody has any last words before we sign up, then feel free. Otherwise, I see Nuno saying he sees field DAO governance moving forward slowly, but definitely moving forward. Patrick says, yeah. So sounds good. Much appreciate everybody. I suppose what we sometimes do is we sign off by saying like 3, 2, 1. go Eden Fractal, or we could just say go Fractals as well. Eden Fractal is positioned to support fractal decision-making processes and all fractals too. So yeah, we can sign it off in some fun way if we'd like to, or if anybody has any last thoughts, then feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can even say, go dance, enjoy the best dog in the galaxy.
Oh, you don't need to do that. That's
that's
Maybe we say go Fractal.
go Fractals is probably more appropriate. Yeah, it's not about me. I appreciate the support, Patrick, but yeah, go Fractals is probably more fitting. I used to be called Dogman too, just to provide a little context for that. Thanks for the thanks for the support, Patrick. And yeah, go Fractal sounds good if everybody's up for it. Is everybody ready, or any last comments before that? Or thanks, Vlad. Great seeing you. Yeah, I definitely recommend following up afterwards. I think I see you're unmuted there, Nuno. Are we ready? I think we're ready, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. 3,
3,
2, 1. Go
Fractal!
Fractal!
Dog in the galaxy! Hallelujah!
Woohoo! All right. Thanks
Bye.
everybody so much, and have a great
you,
day.
guys.
Hope to see you after the Fractal tomorrow, and have a great day. See you.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.